Kedmill, you, things. Prostitutes? Witchers? Man, I don't even know anymore, cause I'm done with the game and I've run out of all options. I guess I could say like something like, Kedmill, my fellow adventurers, because what an adventure it has been. Episode 169. Like, fuck me. Woo, man. You know, when I first started off this series, I figured I could probably hit, you know, the series would last for about 150 to 200 episodes. So I just figured I'll be I'll kind of be, you know, a bit conservative in my estimate and just kind of round it down and or I guess really just average it out to 170 videos. And that's exactly how many it ended up being. Like, fuck me. It's just a lot of videos. It's this is definitely the biggest, you know, quote unquote project that I've ever taken on. By the way, welcome back to The Witcher 3. I am this lovely lady here in this little olive grove tells us to leave her alone, and we see this body in this little shed. This is post commentary. That's right. Shit, welcome back to Witcher 3, I am Dimsy. Fuck. Just get that out of the way immediately. Why the fuck? Man, I've done this so many times and yet I'm still an amateur. It's pathetic, I know. I won't read out the text, because I did that in my first attempt at a commentary and it just, my god. This is post-commentary simply because the commentary that I had, the live commentary, that is, was just pathetic. And, not good. It was really nothing. I had nothing insightful to say, and I did not approve. It was really just a filler commentary episode, and I just did not want to, I don't know, I guess shit out yet another one of those episodes. So I figured, fuck it, I'll scrap that one, I'll do one from scratch. And this is it. So in this episode, I guess I just want to talk about, kind of sum up the Blood and Wine expansion, and kind of relate what I feel about it, and how, what I think about it, or think of it. And I guess then just kind of end it with me kind of sharing my thoughts on the Witcher 3 game and all of its expansions, what I think of it as a whole. Yeah, it sounds good enough. Sounds like it's gonna be be some awesome topics that we can, you know, talk about shit and, you know, just have a bit of fun. Yeah, fun. We're at the end of the fucking series. Crazy. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'll stop. I'm sorry. Alright, so, fuck. Blood and Wine. The expansion Blood and Wine. Many people who have played this game consider it to be, you know, think that we should treat it as its own separate game rather than than a expansion, because it's just filled with that much quality content, and quality content it is. And I honestly am having a hard time disputing that claim, because my god, is this an amazing expansion. CD Projekt Red have outdone not only themselves in terms of what they've done in the past, but also set a ridiculously high standard for the industry as a whole. I kind of expect now every game to have the depth, the complexity, the awesome writing, the great gameplay as this game does, and that's a very unrealistic standard to have for other games, because
time to end this.
The Witcher 3 is just a one-of-a-kind game, you know. Forged by a team that had all collectively sold their souls to the devil, you know, so I don't think there's ever gonna be a game that's gonna be just this good. I mean, you know, I was thinking about it, I think yesterday actually. I think I was watching one of my videos, kind of, you know, analyzing it, just thinking how I can improve my own commentary, and boy can I improve it. And I guess I came to the conclusion that I when I was watching my own gameplay, I was just watching, and this is really weird what's happening with the color filtering, I guess. The contrast is just going nuts. It's crazy. I have no idea. I think it's one of my mods that does that, but it's weird. But yeah, in any case, I was watching my own video and I was thinking, wow, this game is so beautiful. That's something that I've been saying a lot, I know, but I've been playing the Nier Automata demo. My god, I'm beyond impressed. I was kind of on the fence of buying it, but now that I've played the demo, I'm pretty much just positive that I am gonna buy Nier Automata. Maybe even a collector's edition, although it is fucking expensive, even more expensive than The Witcher 3 collector's edition. And I had no problem with giving you know, CD Projekt Red my money, because I fucking love CD Projekt Red. I have no qualms about, you know, supporting them as a developer, as a, I guess, distributor of games in general. But Platinum Games, not sure. I'm kind of, you know, love-hate with them a little bit. But, you know, I've been playing the Nier Automata, and that game is... Oh, sorry, I kind of had a mini burp there. What the fuck was that? Yeah, I've been playing Nier Automata, and the game is beautiful. The, I guess the aesthetic design, or rather the character concept design, is fantastic. I just feel like the kind of unified vision for the characters, you know, 2B, 9S, you know, the Yorha, I think they're called, the Yorha android models are just so elegant, slick, and cool. I fucking love them. And even the enemies, you know, the kind of cutesy automatons that you're fighting are kind of have their own little weird charm to them. But the fucking aesthetic direction for the environments, it's something that I had a problem with Platinum Games for, well, honestly, since Bayonetta. I felt like Bayonetta had a bit, you know, kind of a drab, very kind of mute color palette to it as well. Muted color palette, rather. But Bayonetta was still better than Metal Gear Solid Rising. No. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. There we go. Fucking hell, got it. Because Metal Gear Rising was just, oh, so boring to watch. Oh, fuck me. I love that game, but my god. My god. And Nier Automata kind of reminds me of Metal Gear Rising, and it reminds me in more than ways than one. In some ways, it reminds me of, you know, certain really good aspects, but in other ways, for example, the kind of, you know, the drab-looking environments, that I don't really approve of, to be honest. I don't know, I've seen a bit of, you know, other gameplay videos of Nier Automata. And it looks like, you know, they are gonna, you know, include some fucking colors other than brown. Fuck me, so much brown in the demo. Ah. Oh my god. Dogshit brown and gunmetal gray are just, I don't know. I've kind of had enough of those two colors, to be honest. That color palette was really, really, popular in the games industry for a while. I guess following the success of, what's it called, Gears of War. And I don't know, I don't want to look at those colors. You know, it just makes me kind of feel just Metal Gear Rising also had a sewer level, which is immediately just me ticking off, you know, 50 points off its total score, because my god, sewer levels can go fuck itself sideways. Or fuck themselves sideways, rather. But The Witcher 3, man, look at it. Just look at it. The vibrant, lush colors, the kind of, the way the trees kind of sway when the wind blows. The grass. The kind of roads that kind of indicate that people have been walking here. There's so much attention to detail and so much beauty and vibrance in each fucking frame, it feels like. Oh my god, ambushed by a panther.
How long you
of
gonna
course.
make me wait?
Beautiful, excellent. Oh my god. And dead. Shit gameplay, shit commentary. Hence why I decided to do post-commentary instead. Because I was almost crying at this point. But yeah, okay, so enough of that for the love of shit. What I think about the Blood and Wine expansion, I loved it. Like I said in the beginning of this episode, people have been considering, you know, Blood and Wine to be, you know, we should be regarding it as a standalone game rather than an expansion. It's just that fucking good. I am having a really hard time disputing that claim because I agree. I feel like the writing is pretty much excellent. Well, apart from Deadloaf, I guess I'll get to that in just a second. Gameplay is, you know, varied and a lot of fun. It's not all, you know, just fighting. You attend a goddamn tournament where you get to do loads of different stuff. There are a bit too many fist fights in the Blood and Wine expansion. That's a huge criticism that I have. It feels like CD Projekt Red almost just thought that people would get bored, so they would just kind of threw the player into fist fights every 2 hours. You know, the fist fighting kind of, you know, side quests that you can do, those are fine. But when you throw me into a fight out of nowhere, out of the blue, when you're just like, I don't know, talking to some people, I don't know, kind of breaks up the pacing a little bit. I don't know, because I don't like the fist fighting. I think that it's way too simplistic and just not fun. So having to do something like that in an RPG like The Witcher, I mean, we are playing The Witcher 3 because of the great writing, because of the amazing conversations that you can have with people and choices you can make. It's not like we're gonna just snooze just because we're talking to other people and we need to break up the monotony with a fist fight. Fuck that. No! No! Stay the course, CD Projekt Red. We're on board with this shit.
Come on!
But apart from that, I guess, you know, I just love the overarching plot, featuring Anna Henrietta's older sister coming back and enacting her revenge, rather, for what had happened to her when she was a child. I feel like they handled that really well. They didn't just kind of force you to... they fleshed Sienna out. It wasn't just, you know, this is Sylvia Anna. She is the one committing basically murder and a coup d'etat on her own sister, and you should hate her and despise her.
Need to destroy it.
No, it's more just, you know, you're encountering this person, this fleshed out character, and CD Projekt Red really just allows you to empathize with her and really kind of lets you hear her side of the story and, you know, gives you the chance to make up your own mind about how you want to handle everything. And as usual, I don't think there's a, you know, a good bad ending. Well, I do think there's a bad ending. The ending where both of the sister dies, that's spoiler, by the way. That's I don't know. That's grim. That's fucking grim. But you know, I guess it could make sense. That too. I mean, they all make sense. I'm just saying that, you know, it is a bit morbid, a bit depressing, and I don't know. I'm the kind of guy who thinks that the last game, if you're doing, you know, say a trilogy, then the last game should end on a high note, on just a positive note, you know. I think I'm gonna have a little heart attack here in just a second, because I had a heart attack when I was playing. I actually yelled out of the top, off the top of my lungs. There, boom! Out of nowhere, two fucking vampires just jumped out of nowhere, and dead. What the fuck was that? Oh my god, one shot by some kind of insane, like, psionic wave beam area of effect attack. I have no idea what the fuck that was. I think the Garkin did that in the background there. Woo, boy. I guess that's just what happens. Oh, man. But yeah, no, but in any case, I do think that all of the endings are pretty much... yeah, they make sense, but I do think there are some endings that are more quote-unquote solid, simply because of my own preferences. That I think that, you know, the last game in a series should end on a high note, on a positive note. And this is an expansion, so I definitely think that they should have ended it on a, you know, with Geralt kind of smiling, with all of his friends sitting, drinking some beer, or mead, or whatever, vodka.
How long are you gonna make me wait?
And just kind of, you know, Jesus Christ, I'm playing so badly. And just ending on a, you know, on a high note and kind of, you know, saying farewell to the player in the best way possible. Just, you know, letting the player kind of, you know, exit or leave this adventure with a positive kind of happy last note. And I feel like Bloodborne, oh my god, Blood and Wine pretty much does that. Not everything is, you know, Detlef did die, and Detlef was according to Regis, a solid stand-up guy, if a bit impulsive. Mirroring, you know, he kind of reminds us a lot of ourselves, of Geralt. Maybe not Geralt as in the, you know, the character, the pre-established character, but the Geralt that the players are gonna play as, or, you know, the players themselves define Geralt through their actions and through their gameplay. So I think that Detlef pretty much sums up the players in that sense. We too can be a bit impulsive and short-sighted sometimes, and kind of miss the bigger picture, so to speak. Kind of like we probably do sometimes on our first playthrough. Pretty sure that many people have done, you know, shit that they've regretted. Like I have. I fucked up the Smitten shit. The Warble of a Smitten Knight quest, where we tried to lift the curse off of Vivienne. I completely fucked that one up, and Vivienne, basically, I transferred it to an egg, I think, and she got 7 more years to live. Guillaume didn't get to participate in the lifting of the curse, so they weren't together. He became a drunk. So yeah, I did not want that ending for them. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like Detlef kind of represents us in that sense. But I still feel like Detlef was just way too much of an object, way too much of a of a walking MacGuffin, really. Because he seemed, sure, you can say that a character is impulsive, but I feel like Detlef was just verging on the border of being just a fucking idiot, just irrational beyond the I guess reasonable expectations that you would have of a very old and powerful vampire. I don't know, I guess at that old age, you know, you gotta ask yourself, what does so much time do to a mind? Maybe he started to kind of lose his mind as he was growing older. But nah. I mean, you know, there are good humans, there are bad humans, there are good elves, there are bad elves, you know, there's gonna be your good vampires, bad vampires, and you're kind of, you know, in the middle vampires. Just like everywhere else in every other species. So I don't know, I'm kind of torn. I'm kind of torn with Detlef. I feel like he was a bit too simplistic. Feels like CD Projekt Red basically just needed, you know, a bad guy, an antagonist. Syanna couldn't really fit that role, so Detlef would have to do, but he was just a pawn, so he comes across as a very weak villain. But not a big deal, because I think that all of the other kind of main characters kind of, you know, pick up the slack on that front, you know. And I'm just showing up my spec here, my build, in case anybody's, you know, interested. And seeing what, how I've spec'd my character. What build I'm using. And I usually go for the, I'm very boring, I usually go for the Swordsmaster kind of, you know, build. I do this pretty much the exact same thing in Bloodborne, and Dark Souls, and Dragon Age, in any game that I, you know, in any RPG that I get to kind of define my own character, I kind of stick with the old same tried and true character archetype. The same class, so to speak. It's a bit boring, I know, but it's just what I'm comfortable with. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be that lone swordsman, you know, that wayfaring vagabond walking the countryside and defeating evil and helping out your average dude. Making the world just a bit better place, if I can. If I can. But yeah, I mean, gameplay-wise, I feel like... I mean, you do a lot of, you know, monster slaying, but you are a Witcher, so that's to be expected. But there is also, you know, a Gwent tournament. There is, like I said, a tournament, the Knights tournament, where you get to ride around and fire your crossbow, and, you know, just kind of, you know, experience another side of being a part of this universe, this Witcher universe. And but we did do, you know, there were. I think that whilst some of the you know, recurring kind of I guess gameplay conventions kind of reappear once again. I mean, the Blood and Wine doesn't steer way off of the kind of, like I said, the gameplay conventions that they've established throughout the series. Specifically in The Witcher 3. You know, you'll be doing a lot of the same things that, like, that you've also been doing in the base game, Wild Hunt. But I think that what really saves, or not saves, I make it sound like the game's damned and what saved the game from being utter shit is, you know, this thing. That's not what I was trying to say at all. This is an amazing fucking expansion. I guess I should be saying, I don't know, the details. You know, the element that really elevates, I guess I should say, the expansion to being something truly special is a sense of humor and just the lightheartedness that kind of permeates the entire expansion. I don't like the kind of, you know, doom and gloom shit that kind of accompanies some of the usual, I guess, tales that are featured in the Witcher universe. The Witcher 1 and especially The Witcher 2 had some really just gut-wrenching shit happening to people. I'm specifically thinking about the first village in The Witcher 2 that you kind of arrive in with, you know, with company, with Triss and Vernon, Roach and company. Flotsam, I think it was called, and if you pursue Roach's path, you assault the, I guess, the commander of Flotsam's kind of, you know, house or manor, and it's dark, it's grim, and I'm sensitive, right? I'm very sensitive, guys. For the love of shit, I don't like to experience that kind of dark and horrible stuff. It makes me uncomfortable and queasy and just kind of sad. And, but I guess CD Projekt Red, because they're so awesome, because they're so smart, they kind of realize that you can't really get away with that kind of, that tone in a potentially 250 hours plus long open world game. Right? Like, it's gonna be way too much. And I think I've said that before. I know I've said that before about the aesthetic. The aesthetic direction is very bright and vibrant in comparison to the first two, where the color palette was a lot more muted and I don't know, I guess a bit more faded, featured a bit more faded color palette, and they really brightened everything up a lot in the Wild Hunt, Heart of Stone, and Blood and Wine. And I remember seeing the first gameplay kind of videos and I was like, oh wow, this is weird. This is weirding me out. I was not expecting this. But now that I've played through the game, they did the right choice. They fucking nailed it. A 250 plus hour long game where, you know, everything, all of the colors would be, you know, muted and featuring a lot of, you know, dark brown, dark grays, kind of colors that kind of wear on you after a while and kind of make you just feel like shit. Where's the color, guys? Come on, I'm feeling depressed here. And coupled with, you know, a bit more serious kind of tone would really, I think it would have hurt the game. I really do think so. But they did the right thing. I'm still in this fucking cave because I'm trying to get these vampires to spawn and they're not spawning. I'm like, why the fuck aren't you spawning? Ah, boy. You can imagine how shit the commentary was. I was just so frustrated and angry. I'm trying to like blow out the candles and I don't know, candelabras, whatever, chandeliers. Now I'm trying to restart. I'm trying to reload. Maybe that will work. Fucking hell, I was desperate, man, desperate. But yeah, no, I think they did the right thing, and Blood and Wine pretty much just cements that. And they got it, man. They fucking understood it. They understood how to end a series, unlike the Mass Effect series, which just fucked it up so bad. All of the kind of negative, depressing, you know, horribleness that you want to happen in your series needs to happen in the second game, right? That's the point. In if you're doing a trilogy, that's the point where you should, you know, establish that all of the characters, all of the protagonists and his merry band of miscreants are at their lowest point, you know, in fighting off whatever villain that they're fighting. And The Witcher 3, the third installment in that series, in that trilogy, should be the one that wraps everything up, sends off the player, the reader, the watcher, whatever medium it is, sends him off with a, you know, with a happy conclusion. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be a happy necessarily. A bittersweet works as well, but I'm just saying that it should be a conclusion that ties up the fucking narrative and gives a conclusion to the series and gives some conclusion to the audience members who are, you know, consuming your art. And The Witcher 3 nailed that. Blood and Wine nailed that. The tone throughout Blood and Wine, and even through Wild Hunt, actually, is so just real and lighthearted and fun and just fantastic. They just nailed it. They just fucking got it. They fucking get it. I love it. Red, they understand it. They just, that's why they're my new favorite developer, because I just feel like we resonate with each other so well. We just get each other, you know? Makes me really happy and makes me so proud of, you know, being able to be given the chance to play their games. To live in an era where I can experience their awesome games. It's, yeah, I'm pretty damn fortunate. I'm privileged, man. I am privileged. I'm using that sense unironically because I am using it properly. I'm using the word privilege in its correct form. And the way it should be used. And now I kind of just lose my temper and just go after the archer. Damn archers. But I do kind of mess this up. Oh god.
Is that eau de cadaver you're wearing? Brothers, let us kill, let us murder! Bloody stool!
Nah, I kind of fucked it up. I was looking forward to seeing that explosion, but it turns out I only got one of them. If I just stayed there for just a little longer, I probably could have killed one more of them. Alas! Sorry, I'm concentrating on a fight for some reason. Ah. You know, the gameplay is I don't know if I should talk about it now. I guess I should. I'll just kind of mention it briefly, I guess. I guess I've said everything I wanted to say about Blood and Wine. I have no idea if I even said anything all that insightful. Hopefully I did. But yeah, no, just... I love Blood and Wine. I wish... this is a fantastic way to wrap up the series, and honestly, I wish I could stay in this world a little longer. I wish they would release like a series DLC or something, because I would buy that immediately. But the whole package, you know, Wild Hunt, Blood and Wine, and Heart of Stone have confirmed that not only are Red just, if not the best, top 3 of the best developers, game developers currently in the industry, and I am ready to pre-order. Yes, that's right, pre-order the Cyberpunk 2077 Collector's Edition. They've deserved it. They really have. Yeah, no, just kudos. Just props to these wonderful sons of bitches. They just get it. I haven't read the Witcher books, so I don't know, I guess, how, well they've, if they've stayed the course regarding, capturing kind of the tone and feel of the books. But from what I've heard, they do actually do an exceptional job of staying true to the books. So they have succeeded on so many fronts, it's not even fucking funny. CD Projekt Red, will you have my babies? Come on, fuck. Let's start a family. All of you. With every single one. I'll marry every single motherfucker that works over at Red. Can't look for. I can't. I won't say that I'm hyped for 2077, because I've learned my lesson regarding the whole hype thing. Dark Souls 2 fucked me in the ass so bad that I'm not doing the whole hype thing anymore. There are three games that I've looked forward to so much. Basically, being been so hyped up for that I've just been. It's consumed, a large part of my, in real life, day-to-day life. And those games are The Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and Dark Souls 2. All of those 3 games disappointed the fuck out of me. And I'm not doing this whole hype thing anymore, but god damn it, I would be lying if I didn't say that I wasn't at least really, really excited for CD Projekt Red's video game Cyberpunk 2077. I'm assuming it's gonna be one hell of a game. And, going by their, previous accomplishments, I don't think that's a stretch for me to say that. Whew. But yeah, I guess I can move on to kind of the whole series as a whole now, even though I feel like I've already kind of mentioned that. But I guess I should mention the gameplay.
Come on,
I'm not gonna lie. When I received The Witcher 3, I was I was in the middle of just playing the fuck out of Bloodborne. And the gameplay in Bloodborne, in comparison with the gameplay in Witcher 3, I was so fucking underwhelmed by the Wild Hunt that I honestly just kind of went back to Bloodborne and played that instead. It was rough. The gameplay here is rough, and it actually it continued to be rough. It stopped being rough for me. It stopped being kind of just unpleasant and meh when I arrived in Novigrad. And not because I arrived in Novigrad, that has nothing to do with it, but that's because that was the point where I had unlocked enough ability points to invest in counterattack, I think it's called, the parry ability, and in Whirlwind and Rend. And that's when I feel like, my particular playstyle started to really shine, and I was actually starting to have some fucking fun with the game. I shit you not, I know. Listen, alright, don't give me any fucking shit. about, you know, me being a hater or anything like that, because I'm not. I love this fucking game so much. I've just spent about 6 months making a 170 episode, well, actually more if you count the little side videos that I've made. You know, this 170 episode long fucking playlist series where I just basically just jerk off to this game because I love it so much. I've never invested this much time and energy into one game ever. I think. Dark Souls, yeah. And I haven't Woo! I've invested a fuck ton of time into Dark Souls 1. That I have. And I don't even play multiplayer. If you know what I mean, that's right. I invested most of my time into the single player aspect of Dark Souls 1. Which is, you know, pretty crazy according to some, but I adore that. I just adore that game so much. So yeah, I'm not coming from with a perspective of somebody who dislikes the series, medieval fantasy,
I never knew vampire
male protagonist, whatever angle you can try to find, RPGs. Actually, holy shit, that would actually be an angle that you can kind of use to get at me, because I actually don't like RPG game design when it comes to combat. I feel that it's very limiting. It's very limiting and it's very boring. It usually just reduces the gameplay to artificial difficulty, where you level up your avatar and he gets stronger and the game becomes easier, rather than what I prefer, where the player gets better and thus the game gets easier and I guess more fun just in general. I feel like The Witcher 3, honestly, it straddles the fence right there in the middle of those two kind of perspectives. I feel like The Witcher 3, as amazing as it is, and it is amazing, the gameplay system, the kind of, foundation that they have is pretty solid. But, I mean, it's better than, Assassin's Creed Unity, Dragon Age, all of the Dragon Ages, and Skyrim combined. It's better than all those combat systems combined. But the formal system here is limited by the RPG. Because I only started to have fun until I actually had enough points to unlock my quote-unquote preferred playstyle. And I don't think that's good. I'm just straight up. I think that's shit game design. There, I said it. Because you're limiting yourself, and that's not a point in your favor. That's not something that you can put on the back of your box and say, hey, look at us. We've made a game where it becomes fun to play after about 40 hours play. I think that, what's it called? Final Fantasy 13, I think? Kind of had the similar criticism. And the thing is, right, The Witcher 3 has, for the most part, a rather boring level up system. A lot of it is just passives. That's boring in and of itself, but the fact that, unlocking critical components that makes the game honestly just, alright, I won't say playable, that's mean, but makes it a lot more fun and a lot more deep, is the three abilities that I've already mentioned. The rend ability, the whirlwind ability, and the parry ability. No, it's a counterattack. It's called counterattack, for the love of shit. Parry, anybody can do parry off the top at the beginning, at just the start of the game. But Geralt just kind of, parries the enemy's attack and kind of gives you an opening to attack him back, whilst counterattack gives you a chance to kind of fuck with the enemy and kind of, gives you a knockback chance, basically. And I don't like to use that much, on my signs, so having that ability is pretty fundamental. And, I mean, No, I stand by that. For the love of shit, I do stand by that. The way they could have fixed it is basically just employ the same system that they had in The Witcher 2. That's right, they actually did it right. Somewhat right. Kind of. They kind of did it right in The Witcher 2. Basically, in The Witcher 2, you kind of had the same system in place. You would level up Geralt, mostly passives. Boring, I don't like passives, but whatever, it's what you got to work with. So we'll just criticize that. Whenever you have, you know, passive abilities and, you know, that kind of dictates a player's build in a game. I think that you shouldn't put any kind of restrictions to how many points you need in order to progress in the skill tree, right? In The Witcher 3, how it works is you have tiers, right? I think there's 4 tiers in your kind of skill tree. And there's 5 different brackets, I think, in each kind of skill tree. So you've got, you know, combat, you've got alchemy, etc., etc. And you've got those 4 tiers. And before you can kind of advance to the next tier, you have to invest 5 points in that first tier. Now that I don't fucking like. I don't like it at all. It doesn't really add much to kind of alleviate that first grind that you have to do in the first kind of, you know, I guess, you know, third of the game, fourth of the game, whatever. And instead kind of just makes the game boring. But instead, what you should just do is just... There are mods to do that, actually, now that I think about it. I should have installed that, but... I didn't. But yeah, so basically just remove that restriction and allow the player to kind of map out his build from the get-go, right? So within the first 20 levels, he's done. He's already put in points into each of the different slots of the different abilities that he wants to use, right? So boom! Everything after that is you just improving each ability. Thus, you kind of get that, you know, sense of progression. You kind of get a sense that, holy fuck, my character is actually kind of, you know, getting better at everything. And it makes sense, right? Rather than this kind of jarring jump out of nowhere where you kind of just unlock Rend out of nowhere all of a sudden. But yeah, I feel like that they should have done that instead. The same thing goes for the mutagens, especially the red mutagens. Wow, it took me pretty much the entire game until I managed to fill each of my mutagen slots with greater red mutagens, which just... not a fan. Okay, the video is over. I need to wrap this up. Yeah, this video has just been me kind of just sharing some of my thoughts and ideas regarding The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, Heart of Stone, and Blood and Wine, and just kind of, you know, me sharing my, I guess, not only thoughts about the series, but also ideas about what can be improved and shit. You know, giving constructive criticism as well as praise. I feel like, you know, that's the way to go. You know, no developer is perfect, although Red is, you know, damn close. And I feel like, you know, criticism, you know, kind of, you know, forces us to evaluate what we've created and makes us analyze it and puts the question forward, you know, do we need to improve or not? Usually we do need to improve, and improving is just a good thing. Improvement in any regard is just, yeah, I'm doing a thumbs up. You can't see it, but thumbs up to improvement. Yay, we like. Oh boy. No, but it's been fun playing this game. Yeah, damn fun. I didn't expect to have this much fun doing this playthrough, this series, and uploading it to YouTube. I honestly didn't. Alright, I fuck it. I should wrap it up here. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the last final episode, where we're just gonna wrap some things up, and then we're gonna head on home, and head on home to Toussaint, our home, Corvo Bianco, and we're just gonna call it there. Permanently. Oh, man. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the last episode. Va fail.